In the quaint, leafy corners of Bletchley Park, where whispers of the past interlace with the rustling of the leaves, I find myself sitting across from the legendary Alan Turing. The atmosphere in the room reflects a serene nostalgia, a blend of scholarly quiet and the haunting echoes of monumental discovery. The morning light filters through the windows, casting intricate patterns onto the wooden floors, whispering tales of the prodigious mind that once walked these halls. It is here, amid the hushed reverence of history, that I embark on a journey into the depths of Alan Turing's life. Let's start from the beginning, I say, my voice embracing the soft acoustics of the room. What shaped the young Alan Turing, the boy who would one day challenge the very limits of human knowledge? Turing's gaze drifts thoughtfully to the window, his eyes tracing the path of a lone bird in flight. He smiles gently, his expression a tapestry of recollection.
My early life was a tapestry of curiosity and solitude.
He begins, his voice soft yet commanding.
From my earliest memories, I recall an insatiable hunger for understanding, an urge to dissect the workings of the universe. Nature was my first playground, and numbers my constant companions.
He speaks of his childhood in a manner both profound and unpretentious. Turing recounts afternoons spent with his nose buried in books, absorbing the wonders of the natural world and the mathematical certainties that governed it. There is a mathematical purity in his words, a logic that speaks to the dance between order and chaos, a dance he knew well.
But it was not an easy journey.
He adds thoughtfully.
Navigating a world that valued conformity over brilliance often brought challenges. The narrow corridors of conformity clashed fiercely with my expansive curiosity. Yet, in retrospect, those challenges only fortified my resolve to carve out my own path.
His education unfolded in the prestigious halls of Sherborne and later at King's College, Cambridge. It was in these hallowed institutions that his brilliance began to unfurl its wings. Turing's early academic pursuits were as much about personal discovery as they were about intellectual achievement. The challenges he faced seemed to merely amplify his determination, forging a path where others saw only walls.
The world of mathematics offered a haven, a language through which I could express my deepest curiosities.
Alan reflects.
It became a refuge wherein I was compelled to explore the infinite possibilities of logic and numbers.
Listening to Turing speak of his youth is like watching the slow reveal of a complex tapestry, each thread woven with precision, each challenge and triumph interlocking to form the person he would become. The atmosphere feels charged with an unspoken understanding, a recognition that the universe had whispered its secrets to Turing, long before he would reveal them to the world. As the morning sunlight stretches across the room, creating an artful interplay of shadows and light, our conversation inches toward the portals of his early adulthood. We leave behind the echoes of a solitary but brilliantly illuminated youth, stepping forward into the resonant echoes of a world at war. A world that would come to need him more than he could have ever imagined. Chapter 2, Puzzles and Paradoxes. The transition from the corridors of academia to the chaos of wartime innovation was unpredictable. The tranquil confines of Bletchley Park became a microcosm of urgency and ingenious tenacity. Each step through its gardens and rooms felt charged with the electric pulse of clandestine purpose. It was in this setting that Alan Turing's genius would rise to its most critical challenge, the deciphering of the enigmas that would alter the course of history. Let us talk about the war, I propose gently, as the afternoon sun casts a warm glow. Alan leans back, the weight of memory etched across his face like lines on a well-read map.
War is a force of paradox.
He begins.
And within its devastating grasp, we became the unseen custodians of possibility.
The German Enigma machine was a masterpiece of encryption, a marvel of linguistic complexity designed to be invincible. Yet, in its clever design, it found its match in the relentless mind of Alan Turing. With a profound understanding of the machine's fundamental weaknesses, he embarked on constructing a device known as the bomb, a vital key to unlocking Enigma's cryptic messages.
The challenge was staggering.
Turing admits, his voice tinged with the weight of the past.
But I was driven by the vision of what could be achieved, the prospect of using patterns and logic to save countless lives.
The work at Bletchley Park demanded unparalleled dedication and boundless creativity. In an era without modern computational power, Turing's creative genius came to the fore. His design of the bomb was revolutionary, utilizing the logical structures of a problem to decipher the indecipherable. Turing speaks of the urgency and tension that filled those days, the heady mix of secrecy and innovation that turned Bletchley Park into a crucible for some of the century's most critical breakthroughs.
I often felt like I was living in two worlds.
He confides, a slight smile playing on his lips.
In one, I was wrapped in a cloak of utmost secrecy, fully aware that our successes were shadows, unseen and uncelebrated. In the other, I was part of a vibrant intellectual community, a fellowship that thrived on shared curiosity and collaboration.
Listening to Turing speak is like witnessing the duality of a mind navigating between the abstract perfection of logic and the harsh realities of war. The Enigma code was not just a series of unsolved puzzles, it was the lurking specter of chaos incognito, threatening to unravel the very fabric of the Allied efforts. Turing's ability to synthesize the complex with the conceivable turned the tide of the war, shaping a future that balanced precariously on his algorithms. His eyes grow distant, thoughtful.
Despite the monumental nature of our work, we remained, at our core, problem solvers. For me, it was not solely about breaking codes. It was about pushing boundaries, about asking, what if? And pursuing every avenue of thought, no matter how absurd it seemed.
Here, amid the ghosts of Bletchley Park's past, Turing's recollections flow like the proverbial river of time, filled with both undercurrents of personal sacrifice and the buoyancy of enduring friendships. He speaks of comradeship, of young men and women whose brilliance illuminated the dark hours. In their interactions, amidst the click and whirl of machinery, each shared laugh or furrowed brow dictated the rhythm of a time spent at the precipice of uncertainty. As we delve deeper into the narrative of his wartime endeavors, I notice small shifts in Turing's demeanor, a subtle, imperceptible struggle between the past and present, between silence and revelation. It is as though each anecdote, each recollection paints yet another layer onto the complex portrait of who Alan Turing was, a portrait that only becomes richer as dusk settles around us. Chapter 3: Philosophical Machines. The sun dips lower, casting long shadows across the table, as if marking the passage not just of time, but of ideas themselves. Our conversation naturally begins to shift toward the question that fundamentally reshapes our understanding of intelligence: can machines think? It is here, in the silent dance of twilight, that our discussion finds its new rhythm.
The notion of thinking machinery was considered radical, beyond the realm of possibility.
Turing muses, his voice carrying a blend of mischief and gravitas. His seminal work, Computing Machinery and Intelligence, was both a manifesto and a hypothesis that unwound the threads of traditional thought. Turing states passionately,
theoretical constructs, symbols, they all come together in a choreography of reason and abstraction that machines could potentially replicate.
Alan's vision was revolutionary, a conceptual leap into realms untraveled, foreseeing the potential of machines to exhibit behaviors akin to human reasoning and learning. Our conversation spirals into the realms of artificial intelligence, touching upon the Turing test, a criterion for determining if machines possess human-like intelligence.
This test,
he explains, hands animated with excitement,
lays out a simple proposition. If a machine could engage in a conversation indistinguishable from that of a human, does that not suggest a form of thinking?
His anticipation for this technological advancement is palpable, laced with genuine hope. Turing envisions a future where humanity and machines collaborate harmoniously, each enhancing the capabilities of the other.
We are constantly defining and redefining intelligence.
Turing continues.
One has to ask, why limit it to our own form when there are infinite forms intelligence might take? We stand on the cusp of a new epoch, one filled with synthetic possibilities.
Despite speaking about a hypothetical era posthumously now verging on reality, Turing's insights feel vivid, timeless, interweaving a narrative that bridges across decades, a prophetic understanding of a world still in infancy. His ideas do not merely challenge their own time, they traverse the corridors of thought, laying a foundation for the unprecedented technological evolution of artificial intelligence. Turing, with the curious mind of a questioner and the heart of a pioneer, dreamt of intelligence not just simulated, but distinctly transformative. As the temperature drifts toward a cooler gradient, our conversation expands into complementary discussional avenues: machine learning, the ethical frameworks that should govern artificial intelligence, and the societal implications that these advancements bring. With a steady, knowing gaze, Turing acknowledges the moral complexities that accompany the technological promises of the future.
We must tread carefully,
he advises,
ensuring that our creations serve humanity, amplifying our potential rather than mimicking our imperfections. The conversation is not just about capability, but responsibility, or a dialogue between what is possible and what is right.
Listening to Turing speak of artificial intelligence and its future is akin to watching an artist paint a vast, intricate mural, one where each stroke, each decision, embodies a vision that stretches far beyond the canvas. Chapter 4: The Man Behind the Legend. The interview takes on a more intimate tone as night descends, the ceiling lights providing a gentle illumination that mirrors the waning daylight. This is the moment when our conversation becomes personal, providing insight into the life of the mathematician.
My love for puzzles was perhaps where it all began.
Turing confesses with a light chuckle, breaking the hushed silence.
There is a thrill in patterns, in seeking that which lies just beyond reach. Mathematics is a grand puzzle, after all.
His affinity for numbers, deeply intertwined with his personal journey, becomes more than mere intellect. It is a companion that has traversed every stage of his life, offering both solace and challenge. Throughout our conversation, Alan's candidness lays bare the vulnerabilities, the silent battles of identity amid an era less forgiving of his truth. Turing speaks of the immense pressure, the personal struggles of being a gay man in a time of staunch conservatism.
His voice is steady, tinged with the strength of acceptance. Living authentically has its cost, but every struggle yields its strength. I have known what it is to hide and what it is to be free, and both have shaped my path.
Chapter 5: Boundless Horizons. The night deepens, and with it, a sense of timelessness prevails, highlighting the enduring impact of Turing's journey through time and intellect. I thank him for his candor, an acknowledgement of the rare privilege of this conversation with one of history's most authentic thinkers. As I prepare to leave, I ask one final question, seeking to encapsulate the profound nature of his experiences. What, Mr. Turing, do you hope your legacy will inspire in future generations? He pauses, contemplating the weight of the inquiry. Then, with classic Turing simplicity, he replies,
A belief in infinite possibilities. A belief that boundaries, whether intellectual or societal, exist only to be transcended.
There, in the intimate silence of our shared space, his words shimmer like the last rays of a setting sun, casting a hopeful light on the vastness of what humanity can achieve when inspired by ingenuity and fortified by resilience. As I walk away from Bletchley Park, the silhouette of its grand edifices fading softly into the night, I carry with me the echoes of a timeless conversation. A conversation that bridged worlds, ideals, and epochs are woven together by the enduring spirit of a man who saw beyond the known, who dared to dream across the stars of possibility. Alan Turing remains as much a part of our future as he was our past, a quintessential embodiment of the idea that the essence of discovery lies not just in answers, but in the questions we dare to ask and the bounds we strive to move beyond.